Hey, Hope Waukee, Pastor John here with this week's e-news. Hey, if you were at worship last weekend, we talked about Jesus calling the disciples, and he went not to the religious elite or to the synagogue, but he went to some regular old ordinary fishermen doing their job right down by the sea. And I'm trying to imagine what it would have been like to have Jesus, this rabbi, come along and say, I'm choosing you to come follow me. Jesus invited them and us to be his disciples, and the Greek word there is mathetes, which literally means students. And so as a lot of our kids and students, and maybe some of you are going back to school this fall, we were reminded that Jesus is actually calling all of us to be his disciples. Jesus is coming along the side of the sea, and he's calling you to be his disciple, to be his student this fall. Do you ever wonder what it would have been like to be one of those disciples? Like, this is everything that you've ever known. You live down here by the water. Maybe you even live in your boat. Your job is to catch fish. And Jesus says, I want to teach you how to catch people. I'm going to give you a purpose. And they maybe didn't understand it at the time, but Jesus is giving them this purpose, this mission that is much bigger than themselves, to literally change the world. And that's Jesus' offer to all of us this fall as well. We're not just messing around. We're not playing church. You are being invited to be a part of God's mission here at Hope Waukee. And Jesus invited the disciples and us to do that in three main ways. To belong, Jesus says, come follow me. He invited them to grow, and he invited them to shine. What does that mean for us at Hope Waukee? To belong. Maybe for you, that means taking our Renew member class. For some of you, you are a new member. You're new to our community. This is a great opportunity on Sunday, September 15th to get to know more about our church. For some of you, it's a renewing your passion, your commitment, your focus here at Hope Waukee. Even if you're a current member, come and have lunch on us and discover what it means to be a part of Hope Waukee. So number one, to belong. Secondly, to grow. We've got the Alpha course coming up this fall. It starts on Tuesday nights on September 17th, and this is a great opportunity to meet other people, to grow in your faith, to get reconnected to some other people here at the church. Alpha would be a great place to start growing again this fall. And last but not least, to shine. Jesus helped these disciples discover things that they didn't even knew that they had. And every single one of us is called to a classroom this fall. It may not be a physical classroom, but a place of influence, whether it's under your own roof or maybe even here at the church. There's dozens of classrooms in our church facility that are going to be full of children and students this fall. We have more kids and students signed up than ever before. And so we want to invite you to consider serving as a small group leader, as a shepherd, as a leader in one of our children and student ministry options, either on Wednesday nights or on Sundays. Speaking of that, we've got a children's ministry coordinator position that is open, and maybe that's waiting for you or somebody that you know. If God's stirring in your heart, if you love kids, if you love Jesus and you want to help get kids connected to Jesus, consider that position as well. Of course, we are excited this fall. It's all ramping up to Rally Sunday, September 8th. It's kind of our unofficial start of the fall where all of our children and student ministries kick off, our adult ministries. We're going to have hot breakfast that day on Sunday, September 8th. We're going to have a ministry fair for you to get connected. And what I'm most excited about, brand new service times starting September 8th, 9 and 11 a.m. It's going to give us more time in between our services for community, for relationships, to get to know each other and do some fun things in between, and get those of you that comes to different service times to get to know each other a little bit more. Lots of amazing things happening at Hope Waukee this fall, and you are invited to be a part of it, to head back to school with Jesus. We know that some of you are heading back to school this week, next week, and we just want to let you know, students, parents, teachers, administrators, we're praying for you. We're thinking about you and all the different emotions and feelings and new beginnings going on. Your church family is lifting you up in prayer. This fall, it's time to go back to school with Jesus. We'll see you this weekend at worship.